You just like keep like mason jars in a freezer in there.
Oh, Twitch peoples.
Which people? Oh, I guess we should make announcements. Oh, give me 1 second. I guess there's somebody being loud and obnoxious.
So I am, man.
I'll be right back.
It was alright.
Can you make announcements real quick? I'll be right back.
What are we announcing? Are we announcing that you should have seen that Immortal Hulk coming out? And that the sculpt does not look like a Mortal Hulk, but it's still cool, and that's fine. Whatever. Oh, I also wanted to announce that even though I've done no work towards this, I still want to make a gymnastics online event happen. So, announcing the official Rogue Agency sponsored online DTS event for gymnastics now. Bam.
Okay. Yeah, apparently there was somebody like really drunk outside or some shit.
Hell yeah, bro.
Even
Holler.
Swayze in the chat, he's been waiting for us to go live. He's like, you guys weren't here last week.
We missed you.
He's just here
Are
for
we
the
still here?
He's just here for the X-Force chats.
Hell yeah, bro.
Am I still here?
Yeah, I hear you.
I think we're all still here. I can hear you, Sam.
Can you hear us?
I can't hear anybody.
I was about to say, I don't think you can hear us.
Oh, no.
No,
Even come
I
back,
cannot
Sammy.
hear anything.
Damn. What'd you do?
I can't hear you.
Did he even come back? I don't know why I'm saying that out loud.
I don't know why you are either. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
He figured it out.
He figured it out. Hmm. Can you hear us now?
I still can't hear anything.
Hi,
No.
Sam.
I can hear me.
Are your
I hear you.
headphones turned off?
I wonder if he just reset his computer.
There's something's happening.
Sam is having issues apparently, and Twitch chat, Sam is having issues and he can't hear us for some reason. Sad face. Yeah, he's working on it. Like the Miles Morales game, I was like somewhat disappointed with.
Dude,
like,
honestly,
how
like
short it was.
It's so short. It's kind of a bummer. It's like barely. Calling that game a full release. I know you got it for free. I didn't pay for it either. But people who paid $60 for that game, my heart goes out to you for paying $60 for basically 4 hours of Spider-Man game. Because the first Spider-Man game is fucking incredible, but Miles it doesn't add enough.
The first one was good, and I felt like it was a long game.
It's a really long game.
I was telling Victoria, like, I'm so glad that we got this through like the PlayStation Network.
No, it's not worth money at all. It's crazy. No. It's like DLC.
It might as well be a DLC for the Spider-Man game. However, I will say the ending and the setup is kind of like really interesting to see. I'm curious what they do with Harry.
Yeah, the story's cool. But like again, that's not story for an entire ass game. That's DLC story.
Yeah. Marvel Snap is so addictive. I agree. The wife keeps looking at me playing it. She's like, "Is the game really that good?" And I'm like, "It's really not that great of a game. It's just, it's so easy to play. Like, it's like, ah, I got nothing to do right now. I'll play a couple games of Snap." Like that's where like they're doing so good with that game is it's so easy to play.
Yeah, I played it for a little while, but then I lost interest. Mostly because I don't remember why. I had a reason at one point.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
really
get
a
bored
phone
with
gamer.
it. I get bored with it every now and then like, but like it's just too easy just to pull up real quick.
Yeah, because it's like a minute long.
Yeah, and then but yeah, like the Miles Morales game, like I like the story. The Hogwarts, have you played the Hogwarts Legacy game yet?
I don't think I'm going to.
It's actually really good.
It just looks very basic. Um, like it's super watered down or whatever. I'll play it when it's like $1.
Yeah. Okay, so I will say that it is probably like so far where I'm at in it, it's probably like the best like Harry Potter world story I've like read or seen.
Oh man, because that's and I'm sorry if this is mean, but like such a high fucking bar, right?
You're not wrong, but I will say like the writing, like the story's actually pretty good.
Yeah, because like Rowling
Um,
didn't write it, right? So it's probably great.
yeah, Ryan did. Ryan had nothing to do with it, or
Yeah,
the
so it's
fact that
probably
it's
like
like
really good.
Hogwarts.
It probably got some actual love behind it.
Yeah. And the gameplay is really like, oh, I don't know. It's almost like a hack and slash with lightning bolts.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear us now?
Yeah,
Okay.
So
I made it.
See now you're quieter.
Okay, so I changed outlets. It's like I'll try to change the outlet again.
Can you hear
Now
us
I'm
now?
back, and I'm quiet
See
still.
see you're quiet still and you're more echoey. Okay, just switch it back and then turn yourself up a little bit.
Chickadee check.
It
Mic
sounds
check
exactly the
two.
same. Did you
Man,
change anything? It sounds exactly the same.
no, it's like literally like all I heard was you say like we're live on Twitch, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna go grab my beer, and I walked over and I grabbed my beer and I came back and that was the last thing I heard. I changed nothing. I did nothing different. Hmm. Let me try the other outlet.
Yeah, try the other outlet.
what is happening?
I'm plugging and unplugging things.
Okay.
So it sounds exactly the same.
So this is a third different outlet now. I feel like I'm a little louder in this one, but not much.
I think your mic quality was like really good on the first one when you first came back. It was just quiet. So I think if you put it back to that one and then just turn it up a little bit.
How about now?
It still sounds the same. All right, whatever. As long
Does it
as
sound bad? It sounds fine to me.
it sounds fine. It's just like when he came back the first one, I was like, wow, that sounds great. It was just
No,
quiet.
I didn't change anything from that to this.
I don't know.
This is that one for what that's
That's
worth.
weird.
Yeah.
Because like it sounds like when you come on and you're like, oh, the wrong mic was selected. That's what it sounds like right now.
Okay. Let me.
I think you sound beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the subscription, Sam's brother.
Thanks, Sam's brother.
He has a question that we're gonna hit. By the way, don't
Alright.
think I'm ignoring your question. We'll get to it. It's actually kind of like what we're talking about tonight, to be honest. His question is: He's just finally got the core box for MCP. What's a
Ah.
good list from the core set?
Oh brother, there are so many. But mostly you just play Steven Zemo.
you can't you can't go wrong with that.
All right. Well, whoa. Now it sounds like really weird on my end. I don't know what it sounds like on yours.
It sounds exactly the same still.
Why am I so quiet?
I don't know. It's not pulling through like a webcam mic, is it?
No, it's not. It's pulling through. Like this is my like. It's this. I have changed nothing.
I love technology. Well, what's crazy is like when you were like when you first came back, it sounded super clear and great, and then now it sounds like airy. You know what I mean?
Did that do? No, that didn't help.
I didn't do nothing. And you're quiet. I don't know why.
Does that do any? No.
No. I'm gonna pull the screen up just because it's hilarious to watch you get down and get up and get down and get up. Did I
Is
see
that any louder?
LLama?
No.
Nah, it's the same.
Ugh.
Are you? See, this is why I think like it's pulling from like the webcam mic and not your mic.
Oh my god.
It says it isn't. It says that it's pulling from my mic.
You don't run any like software, do you? Like NVIDIA broadcast or
No,
anything?
it's a USB like 2-channel mixer. What if I change my audio quality? Did that do anything?
No, did nothing. Did
Check,
nothing.
check, 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 check. Select start test and talk or play audio at your normal voice for at least a few seconds, then select stop test. Yeah, it is
Troubleshooting.
not like doing anything good.
I just don't understand it.
Me neither. I'll just yell
So,
at you guys
are
tonight.
we at this point? Yeah, are we going for like a quality thing? Because like I don't know.
Sam just
It,
has to talk
I
louder.
also I just love that y'all have like superior mics, and I have this fucking piece of shit
Yeah,
headset.
I've recorded an album on this mic. Like, I guess the mic's a little old, but
Oh, you got an
it's not
album
that old.
out? Man, I gotta hear your album, dude.
Is it on
Oh,
Spotify?
it's not out. It's like
Oh,
so old.
Underground?
It was
I'm okay
before
with that.
Spotify.
I can wait.
You gotta upload that onto
Yeah,
Spotify.
when that's out, bro, you gotta put that in the Discord.
All right,
How long ago did you record it?
10 years ago.
How is it not
Oh,
out? I thought
uh,
I procrastinated. What?
I moved like while I was doing it, and the place that I moved into, I couldn't do like all the additional recording that I wanted to do on top of it
No.
because I went from a place that didn't have any like weird electrical noises to a place that had like really weird electrical noises when I plugged stuff in.
Hmm. Is that what's going on right now?
No, different place.
All right. Well, let's get to this. I need you to talk a little bit louder, though, but that'll be fine.
Oh my god, I'm already yelling. It seems a little better now for what that's worth. I'm at least in the yellow for the most part.
That's good enough. All right, let's do this.
All
I'm hitting
right.
the button.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Maximum effort. In this war, there's no surrender. He's out of line, but he's right. Who the hell is Bucky?
You don't like a fair fight.
I think you're wrong. Which part? All of it.
Think you're the only superhero in the world?
Touche.
welcome back to the Rogue Agents podcast. We have Sam, Hyper, and myself here. Yeah, let's see. Really spaced out because I don't actually have show notes ready for tonight.
Nice.
And
What do we do? We thank the patrons. Thank you
thank the
for everyone who
patrons.
makes
Yep,
this show
yep, yep.
Thank you,
possible.
patrons.
We
And thank
appreciate
you
that.
to the listeners who are always here,
That's right. 'cause without
and
the
people
audience, we
who
wouldn't
show
have-
up
yeah.
in the Twitch chat. And there's nothing really new over the last week. No big news.
No big news. What, Psylocke? Psylocke?
Oh yeah, shit, they were my big news. X Force is back on the menu.
She looked cool.
And then hot taste cold drinks. I'm drinking some. This is a really cool bottle, so I brought it up here so I could show it off. I'm not drinking Sour Monkey. I'm drinking some Odin's Skull mead.
What the fuck? Oh shit, Odin's Skull mead. That's sick.
Yeah, it's actually really
Nice.
good. It's a honey wine with sour apple juice
My
and
goodness.
cinnamon.
Yeah, mead is
It's-
good shit.
That sounds pretty good.
It's
I'm
tasty.
Having Pernicious.
What is that?
It's an IPA.
Copernicus?
Pernicious.
Oh, good times.
It's bitter.
And then like what we're gonna be talking about tonight is Sam brought up this thing because he's having some internal dilemmas,
Constantly.
and basically it's list building ADD. Hence the title being. Well, I don't even remember what I put it as. It was something like. What did I put it as?
LLama?
Oh, affiliation LLama. Because like so the llama thing is kind of a joke because like the wife and I were at a store. They had a picture of a llama. It was Hobby Lobby, and they had like a picture of a llama, and I was like llama, and I was basically going through the entire store just yelling llama, being an absolute nuisance and a child. And then that's kind of just been a thing lately for me, is saying llama. So it fit because it's just completely random and ADD.
Okay.
Squirrel. But anyways, we're gonna be talking about Sam's issue that he's currently having. So why don't you go ahead and take the reins and let's
All
talk
right.
about your issue.
So my issue is that I want to play everything, and I don't have time to play everything. I want to play every affiliation, every character, every combination, and the time for that just doesn't exist because of life and the real world, and there's no professional crisis protocol leagues.
That's the biggest problem right now.
Isn't
Yeah,
it, though?
I want to
Somebody
be a
needs to just
professional
win
crisis
lotto.
protocoler so bad. That'd be sick. I want to
It would
make
be.
the thing I love into my job, so I start to hate it so badly.
So my question is really about what do you think is worth focusing on in this game? Like, what's the point? You can't play everything. It's never going to happen. But like, how do you know when it's time to move on? When are you like throwing good money after bad? When are you like not seeing through your own blind spots? And like, how do you stay focused on, and what do you stay focused on when you do in Crisis Protocol? Help me by explaining your approaches.
All right, I want to go first because for me this is like super easy.
I know.
I'm known as like the X Force person, and for the last year, like it's been like almost an exact year at that point that I got back on X Force. I like took a year off of playing X Force because Omnis kept saying, "Don't play X Force, just play something else." I played Midnight Suns, I played Cabal Mal, I played Brotherhood Mystique, I played Foes for a little bit.
That's
else
kind of
did I
been
play?
me, except
But-
like just that part of it, right? Like not the focus.
Yeah.
Like once Black Order, like I felt like something got
It-
proved with Black Order. Maybe it was just that Black Order was really good in an old meta, and the changes that have hit the game, the changes that have hit that affiliation, and like some of the pieces that I really cut my teeth on this game, like learning both the game and
Yeah.
those pieces, right? So now I'm like, okay, I don't really want to go back to that so much. I mean, I did a little dabble at Nova. I played it a few times since then, but it doesn't move my heart the way that it used to. It seems like an uphill battle the whole time. But
So
anyway,
like what's crazy is like I got back to playing X Force after a year, and the first game I got absolutely stomped, but it was the most fun I had playing MCP in like a year.
That's fair.
So it's like for me, I find that when I'm playing characters that I actually care about and um like characters that I want to like have like on the table and I have like a mission when I play X-Force to prove that they are actually something decent. So I have like this hill and sword that I am probably just gonna die on, that X-Force is a playable faction. Um that I just want to prove. And trying to like basically I have that mission and that mindset where it's like I don't get bored with X-Force and I have the most fun with X-Force because it's the characters that I love. It was my favorite comic line when I was growing up. And I never get bored of playing Cable no matter how many times he lets me down.
Yeah, I'm a much more fair weather friend than that when it comes to my affiliations.
But I just think for like you, and I think this is probably something that more people can relate to, is I know this is what Omnis does, is like he plays something to try and break it, and then once it either gets, it's kind of what you do with Black Order, like you once it was solved, went on to something else, but then stuck to that something else for a long time. Unlike you, where it's been like, I swear it's like you're in high school having relationships.
Right, nothing lasts longer than like a few weeks.
Damn, dude. Rough.
So what do you think, Hyper? Like, what do you like? How do you feel like? How, because you've played Avengers pretty much solely until right now.
I played Avengers solely competitively. That is basically true. The at the time that I don't know, how do I phrase this? Whenever I've been in a place where I'm playing like really competitively, which has been like the TTS seasons or tournaments, Avengers have always been in a really good spot. It also helps that like I know those characters and I don't have, a ton of interest in like playing every single character and seeing who really meshes. It's more like my pet characters. And until Hulk gets a new affiliation, it's kind of rough. Like I played Defenders for an entire TTS season, or Defenders for a whole TTS season. I don't
Your
like
problem is,
Splash Hulk because I do play this game large. Like the thematic stuff does get me.
yeah,
I'm not ever gonna play Hydra, even though I know they're good. I'm not ever gonna play like Cabal, even. I mean, I might like Cabal just to mess around with Malekith. Um, yeah. Right now, I'm on the Asgard train. But Sam, I don't remember where we were talking about this, but he was talking about like his issues with list building and how some folks have like lists that they vibe with because it's like an arc or a group of characters they enjoy, or because like competitively they love how the list feels. I'm a pet character guy. I love my pet characters. So right now I'm on the Bill train, and I'm playing Bill in Asgard, and it's fucking awesome. I'm copywriting this shit right now. When you have 4 power and 1 health on Bill, and you're the most completely unkillable object in the known universe, when you have the Super Odins online, it is a good feeling. So just finding that one little combo and burning the hell out of it until all the dopamine is ringed from that tiny little interaction. That's how I play this game.
okay. Focus on a thing. Do the thing.
Yeah,
Focus
have
on the
one
thing.
thing that makes you happy.
All right, so that's gonna wrap us up for this week. And
Yeah,
no.
that was quick, right? Problem
Yeah,
solved, right?
but like in all reality, though, it's like I guess it really comes down to like what are you looking to get from
Yeah, what do you
MCP in
want?
general? Like I love MCP because I love the cast of characters. Like I think Shatterpoint looks amazing, and like Star Wars is another thing that I grew up with.
For
But
sure.
like when I look and I compare MCP and Shatterpoint, MCP is going to interest me more just because I enjoy Marvel more and I enjoy the characters from Marvel more. And I think there's much more design space to be had within MCP than like Star Wars, because I can guarantee you it's way harder to mess up a litany of superpowers. And I can think about like you could tell like there's gonna be somebody be like, this does not feel like Luke. Like he should be able to do this, and this.
I mean, people said that about things in Protocol too, right? Because like
They have, but
full
like
hope
I
it's
mean,
for the
that's still
changes.
true.
But
Look at
then-
Colossus, yeah.
but then
Yeah.
it's way easier to be like, well, this is like the direction we wanted to go with this character. This is like that snapshot of time in the comics for this character.
Right.
How are you going to
for
do
Star
that with
Wars.
somebody? Yeah, how are you going to do that with Luke? Like this is Padawan
Yeah,
Luke.
Exactly. It's Jedi Luke or it's not Jedi Luke. Farm Boy Luke
Yeah.
or
Yeah, so it's gonna be like how is he not so good with force? Oh, that's because he's learning how to use the force right
it's
now.
early period Luke.
But like that I just don't see that excuse like going as far in Shatterpoint that it does with MCP. Granted, a lot of people just call bullshit anyways in MCP, but it's
Yeah.
like but it's like you like I just look at Shatterpoint and I look at MCP and I just think they have so much more leeway and freedoms with MCP design space than they do with Shatterpoint.
So I think part of my lack of focus right now is twofold because I'm really unfamiliar with a lot of the new crises. Right, I'm getting
Yeah.
games in on them and I'm playing them, but like I've gone from like being basically sure how to knock away like every crisis in my roster in the game to like being like, well, I'm not really sure what to do on this one, or I feel like I'm not very good at this one, and now we're playing on that. So I need to dig in and play a lot of the new and rework crises a lot more because I've played a lot of like Extremis and Infinity, where it's just like I know what the game plan is on those still, and then trying to
Yeah.
incorporate like the new extracts in. So that's part of it. The other thing for me is that I really do like have a really long list of characters that I've thoroughly enjoyed in Marvel comic books, and I do get a little bit stuck on the fluffy side of things where I get blinded by not wanting to run a character or really wanting to run a character. Usually it's like I don't want to run that character and they're really good.
Yeah. Like Skull.
Like Skull. Yep. I just don't want to do it. I have very little interest in that.
But again, like I think this comes back to the question that you keep avoiding, like a politician, and that's what are you trying to get from MCP? Like, what do you want to like? I think this is like what everybody needs to ask themselves when they try to make a roster is like, where is your fun in the game? Are you trying to break something? Are you trying to just win? Are you trying to be nostalgic? Like, like Hyper's like a nostalgic type. He wants to play his pet characters that he loves the comics
I'm also
of.
very good at winning.
That's fair.
So
And right mad in the chat, what I'm trying to get out of MCP is the slaps. So it's like, why are you playing Hydra then? You should be playing like I mean Red Skull slaps, but that's about it.
dude, I don't know. Hydra, like, I got bodied twice at LVO by not just Red Skull, but like Hydra players. Hydra's just like a funky affiliation. They're just efficient machines.
But I just think that's like the truer question when it comes down to the root of like trying to find like your fun when it comes to MCP is like what is your goal and what is like what draws you to this game? We were kind of talking about this earlier. Is like what drew you to MCP to begin with?
It's a good question.
What drew me to this game to begin with? This is my first tabletop game, and it's definitely the license, right? Like, you know, and this is gonna sound, like this is such an obvious fucking answer for anyone who's like played with me or met me or listened to me talk on this podcast. But yeah, man, it's a board game where I can play as Hulk and throw shit like buildings at people. Like, I'm so sold just based on that statement alone.
And then for me, it's like I knew they'd come out with X-Men eventually, so I got into the game knowing X-Men was coming, and I just like Marvel in general, and I like to paint, and I by far like I don't know what it is about like the MCP figures, but these are by far like, the best paint jobs I've had out of any line of miniatures I've ever done.
Oh, they're awesome. They're well sculpted. They're easy to paint. They're fun to paint.
Yeah.
You can paint them lots of different ways. So I think part of what I'm looking for in this game, because I am a beautiful, unique snowflake, is I like to explore. I'm definitely like Timmy, Johnny, Spike. Like I wind up being way more of a Johnny than anything else. Like I don't necessarily want to break something, but I like to find good things and make them about as good as I think they can be. And sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you wind up polishing turds, and sometimes you find the secret sauce.
Sometimes the turd just needs to be polished out ever so slightly more.
Yeah, bro,
Past the point of sanity,
right?
To where there is no more turd and it's just fresh, clean water.
Wow, that's like next level right there.
This real next level.
We want to talk about turd polishing with like I won't say insignificant changes, but with like besides field dressing, there have been not a huge amount of changes from like last year LVO to this year. That's again not true. But Hulk was considered a bad character in 2022. and is now considered by many to be the best character in the game. Like turd polishing, I think there's definitely a play. Like I have some locals who are really trying to make Viper work, and that's like I wish them the best. But you really can make a lot of things work if you just like think about it differently, if that makes sense.
You gotta want to. I think part of my problem right now is that like it seems like all the space that there is to truly explore the under and unexplored territory is nothing that interests me.
Gotcha.
Which makes me want to just like play characters that I like.
Yeah, your
Which
criminals wizards
is a
dojo
lot.
cracks me up. It's like I swear I'm still thinking about wizards. Dot dot dot. So anyway, Rhino.
Yeah, working on the criminal stuff with Will's been really fun. Uh, I I feel like Kingpin's like such a gatekeeper uh, that it's not always super fun. And there are games that you can just win by bringing Kingpin. And there's a lot of games that you lose because you did the same thing. I think
Yeah.
that and I don't have a whole lot of interest in Shadowlands Daredevil. So like my problem with criminals isn't their roster; it's the leaders and leaderships.
Hmm.
Like it's just not really that roster like builds itself
Like they're both
to
really
a
good
large
at what they
extent.
do, but they're all both also kind of boring, unfortunately, right? Like they just like
Yeah,
Kingpin's just like you just sit on points and don't die, and Shadowlands you just point guns at people. I mean that's
you
cool,
do
yeah.
right.
But yeah, like, and Shadowlands himself is kind of in a weird spot for me personally, where it's like he has a bunch of stuff on his card that's really cool, where he's like one of the toughest characters in the game. He's got grunts. He's got stealth. He can
Yep.
hit sort of hard. But what he ends up actually doing in a lot of games is just like walking around throwing batons at people, which is not fun, you know?
Then he just dies randomly.
Yeah, and then you
It's
get
the
spiked
randomly
when you
dying
whiff your
that's
dice.
hard,
Yeah.
right? You're just like, oh,
Have you?
wah,
Okay,
wah,
so
wah.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
Do you like messing with extracts and secures?
What
What
do
do
you
you mean
mean?
by messing with them?
Like, do you like manipulating someone's ability to score VPs?
So do I like playing Voodoo and like Black Cat and Spider Woman and Rhino and Pyro and all those guys?
I'm trying to help Sam out here, and I'm trying to ask questions without being pointedly obvious what where I'm going
Oh,
with
okay.
it.
I do, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think
you
that interacting with the scoring propositions of the game is one of the like fastest like places to create something
okay,
that could be
okay,
broken.
okay. So you enjoy messing with VPs. Do you like to play characters that are semi-survivable?
I do like so I mean I like hella survivable if I'm honest.
Me
I
too.
like
Okay.
playing big boys. I like
Okay,
playing
well,
tall.
it could be both. It could be both. Have you put any serious thought behind playing foes?
I have no connection to the Spider-Man villains catalog. I think they're like nifty and stuff, but like I
See, I
described this to
love
someone the other day
see.
where it's like
So it's
there's just a bunch of crazy scientists
it
who
is.
like are an element, and then like a rhino and a lizard and a pair of symbiotes.
So it's like for me, like when I'm not playing, I think like Spider Foes is probably my second favorite faction and probably my second favorite like line of characters. Like I love Green. I had a Jeep called Green Goblin. Like I love Green Goblin, and I just think the foes is super fun. Before I got back on the X Force, I was doing like some serious extract jank, where I was doing Goblin, Auk, Pyro, and Rhino. And it was like, yeah, you're not having anything with extracts for like 3 rounds. Good luck. Like good luck scoring out. It was super cool, and it actually worked really well.
I
Um,
believe it.
but if you don't have like an affiliate, like an affinity with like spider foes,
No,
and eh,
it's filed. It's one of the ones that's filed under like I think there's a lot to explore there. I just don't have a personal
you don't
interest in it.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah, if they get a
Maybe
new leader, I'll
yeah,
play Spider Foes. I
maybe
don't really
you
like playing
should
Goblin though.
maybe you should like get an affinity for spider foes.
What the fuck?
just play them. Just play
Yeah,
some
just
foes
yeah,
until I
until
feel
you
okay
like
about
them.
it.
They're right up
Hmm.
your alley for what you like to do in the game, though, which is funny.
That is funny. That's definitely a place where I'm at right now, where like everything in my head that's running around is just like I do not think science is dumb. I love science. I think that having all of your villains be mad scientists is maybe a little lazy.
They're
Yeah,
not all mad
Venom and
scientists.
Carnage, the mad scientist.
Not
Rhino,
those two.
the
Rhino's
mad
not a mad
No,
scientist.
no.
scientist.
I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about
Mysterio, he's not
Electro
Craven. Okay, so you have
and
you
Ock
in the game. In the
and
game,
Green
you have
Goblin.
Auk and Green Goblin, and Lizard. Those are the only ones that are
Yeah, and
scientists.
Lizard. I thought Electro was a scientist too.
Well, in the game.
Okay, got it. Fair enough.
Yeah. So in the game,
This is not
less than half. So hear us out, Sam. Just go do science until you go crazy. Problem solved. That's what Ben says. But
yes,
no,
I should
like,
take on foes for science.
but let's talk about this though. Like where do you have fun within the game? And like you even said, you enjoy manipulating VPs,
I
and
do.
that's like I think that's
So I
like
don't
one
like
of
well-laid
like.
plans because it's so random. I
But it's not. You have like it's like you have more of a chance to hit a one on every single one than you do to not.
yeah, I get it. I just have
Plus,
no
you get
control over
Rhino
it.
in affiliation.
See, all you gotta do is you play
I've got that
well-laid
with
plans
CS.
and psychic shockwave, and you can't miss.
So, but here's the other thing too,
Except for
though.
you have to play that at like 19.
Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Sam falls into a vat of experiment chemicals and comes out the giggler.
Watch out.
What do I come out as? Like, so Sam's the giggler. Who am I? And who's hyper?
You
This
just
is
become
fun.
cable, but like
I
dollar
just
store
become-
cable. Like just dollar store cable, so like your eye doesn't glow, it just turns yellow.
Oh my goodness. But like, if you like CS, like I think there's actually a really good space for like CS/foes right now, depending on like what the scenario is.
I think CS foes is actually easier to build than after spending like almost 2 weeks now, like trying to perfect, at least in theory, a syndicate roster with Shadowlands and Kingpin in it. I think it's
Yeah.
easier to go foes than it is to go dual crims.
I agree with
Honestly,
that actually.
yeah. There's a
And-
better
There's enough
overlap, for sure.
right? 'Cause
Well,
there's
it's not just
Kingpin
that,
and then
too.
foes.
Not just that though, but it's like they really play off of each other because it's like, do I have prio?
Mhm.
No. Do I have 5 extracts? Yes. Okay, I'm going foes. Do I have prio? Well, it doesn't matter. It's infinity. I'm playing Kingpin. Like,
Right. Right.
so it's like it's a very easy. Like, I think that actually might be like one of the top. Like, if you really think about it, like CS and foes on paper should be like one of the hardest things to beat.
I don't know about that.
Well, like they do everything that deals with how to win the game. Like they both mess with how to win the game.
You're just going straight into it.
I mean, that's
So
not
I'm
untrue,
not-
but that's also true of like dual affiliation, or not even dual, but like double crims. And I've had plenty of games where I'm playing like both crim leaders in a single
Yeah.
roster, and it's like, oh, even though I in theory have the tools, I'm still losing this.
This is because you made a bad decision. We've talked about this.
Oh right, yeah, because the list is perfect. Excuse me.
But like let's talk about this though real quick. Like even though like I could say like all day like play CS and foes, but like where's your enjoyment in that? Like are you actually gonna have fun playing a CS and foes list to where
I'm
you
not
can
sure.
actually stay focused and like because like we talked about this early on in the show and that
Yeah.
was like repetitions is better than like grabbing a
Yeah,
highly
and-
competitive. Like I can't grab Vince's list from LVO and just expect success with it.
Yes, you can.
No, you really can't though, because people are trying to do it in the league, and it's hilarious to watch.
Oh.
But it's like you can't grab a list and just expect instant success.
Right.
I guess you
So
can
the
expect it,
list,
but you're not going to get it.
like the Lucas list from
Yeah,
last LVO, like that kind of stuff is just like you can't just pick it up and go. It's not plug and play.
no, like it's like repetitions are like a huge part of this game. Understanding what your list can do on what, and like your little backdoor, like sneaky stuff that only you know about because you played
Right.
the list so many times. But it's like, I think that comes from, like we talked about, you being on Convo for pretty much the entire year, and
I did talk about that. Now I'm like less than a month into it, and I'm ready to move on because it.
Yeah.
doesn't- It. So this is my thing with. So I made a list the other night that was like I want to play Convocation. I really do.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing it. I don't like losing priority with Convocation. There's so many times where I'm just like very uncomfortable with what happens next.
so let me pause you real quick. So that's the
yeah.
cool thing about foes and CS is you don't care if you win or lose prio.
Get over it. I lose a lot of prio though, so there's that. I bought into Crisis Protocol to play mutants because
Yeah.
that's like the stuff that like that's my comic book roots. It was Thor and X-Men. Those are like the things that I enjoyed most when I was reading comic books as a young adolescent man, boy,
Thing.
thing. Something. I do enjoy the CS playstyle a lot more than I think I should.
Yeah.
Because I Kingpin especially because it's literally just like,
Oh,
can I survive this?
you know
Can I
what?
take these punches?
I just solved your conundrum here. You like to break things. You like to play stuff that is underplayed or not played at all.
Yeah,
You like mutants.
yeah,
Do I hear an X-Men Blue?
no.
Oh,
I like it to be at least feel moderately breakable. I don't like
okay,
spenders
okay.
enough to actually like want to
Well, that and like
explore
spinners are
Scott's
never
leadership.
really like it's. Ben says X Weapon X.
Dude,
I did
Weapon
some
X
Weapon
is
X, but like
yeah, I don't know.
it it didn't do anything for me. The leadership is not
Yeah,
something that excites me. Like rerolling defense dice makes me feel like I just roll into nothing. Like
that's
I
the
described
thing,
that
right?
to
Like all
someone.
of their characters besides Domino, and I guess to some extent like X-23, none of them
Yeah,
have defense tech, so more dice just makes you more disappointed.
right,
I
exactly.
just I just wish that they did exactly what they did, but it was an X Force side leadership. That's like the only thing that.
That
Yeah.
take shocks me, Dizzard. You saying that, I am so what? Like, wow.
What? No. Insane.
Anyways,
So my logic on the Weapon X leadership is like maybe a little convoluted because I'm like I don't care about that because I'm just adding defense dice. I'm just gonna
yeah.
roll more blanks and skulls anyway. So like, what do I care? And then I like attack into someone and I'm like, oh, so you got a 3 defense, and then you're gonna add 2 to that, so you're gonna be rolling 5 defense. Crap, that means you're gonna roll like 4 blocks, and I'm not gonna do any damage to you. I don't really want to attack you. So I definitely have like either some scar tissue where I should have gray matter, or I'm just otherwise holding a kind of a double standard when it comes to adding defense dice.
So if we're talking about like your like mutants were like your love as a child, mutants in Asgard.
Yeah.
Um, like what about Thor in X-Men?
What about
No,
playing Asgard?
yeah,
We're
I
just
would
playing
just
Asgard.
I'm way more of a single affiliation feller than
Okay.
I am like interested in exploring
Well,
like
that's
cool
also a
affiliation
great place
systems.
where X-Men is right now. Is X-Men's becoming the new Avengers, where it's like they have a tool for everything.
Yeah, I worry about the popularity part of that. Like it's like they're the X Men. They're always going to be popular. They might even be more popular than Avengers if
Well,
they
you
are
know who
already.
has mutants and is not as popular?
Hmm. X Force.
X Force. Um,
See, but then that hurts my snowflakeness, right? Because you're the X Force guy. I'm like now I've got to be like,
That's also true.
oh,
Yeah, you have a problem where you don't want to play someone else's thing. But here's the
yeah.
thing, Sam, is that there are thousands of people who play this game.
Son of a bitch, are there? It's not
Yeah,
just like 18, 19 different people. Okay.
no. I mean,
Well,
if
so
you really want to be a snowflake, just go ahead and play Dormammu, bro.
no, I don't enjoy Dormammu's play like style. I've
I
had
don't
like
think, yeah, no one does.
such a tough time with his absolute lack of control. Hellfire Club, maybe. I don't know. Like, there's nothing.
Oh, yeah, we're still waiting on that card to see what
I want
Emma's
to see what it
leadership is.
does. Yeah, but like, I like the Hellfire Club as bad guys, but like, I don't really. I'm not like, yeah, the Hellfire Club. I want to do that.
my issue with
No,
the
I'm just
Hellfire
gonna have
Club
fun.
is like I don't care.
What do you mean? Dude, Sebastian Shaw is a cool guy.
Yeah, I like
That's a
Sebastian Shaw.
potential
Like,
second affiliation for Magneto, too.
yeah. So I really like Magneto. That's one thing that I can say. Like, that's another one that's like, it's
Yeah,
like
Mags is a cool guy. In my league
he
game
was great.
against DeLuca last week, I killed Magneto with Pyro. It was really funny.
But I don't want to play Brotherhood.
Yeah,
So
Why don't you want to play Brotherhood?
because everyone's
because they're
playing
too
Brotherhood.
good.
Oh, that's
Why don't
it.
you play X-Men with Magneto win them, and you could
I've
paint
done
your
that.
Magneto white.
My Magneto is white.
So you've had the solution the entire time. Just play Storm X-Men with Magneto.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stormhop Magneto. That doesn't sound terrible.
It
Sounds
does.
like,
Yeah.
like it's still just not Red Skull, which is painful, but it was whatever.
It's not Red Skull. It's not Hulk.
What would your 15 be? You got Storm. Mags
15.
is 9. So you got
I'm gonna
6.
play
So you
in
could do 2
Battle
more
Realms.
threes.
Oh,
No, you're
like
15
15
threat.
team. Got
Yeah.
it. That's just 3
So
threes.
Storm, Mags, and then 2 threes.
Yep.
Yeah, Beast the Goat 3,
Probably Beast most of the time, and
and
then
Domino
Domino
or
or
something. Yeah.
X23.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's an
both
X
with
Force
the.
list almost.
Beast is currently
It is,
running
but I
X
think
Force.
I
That's
prefer
true.
the Storm Hop for a Magneto team
Yeah.
than having to shoehorn
Then
Kendall
one
in.
more reroll. Yeah, you can't reroll
Yeah.
skulls. Poor fella.
Hey, that reroll saves games.
Yeah, I'm sure it does for a guy
It
who has
does.
reroll all.
It does actually sometimes.
Yeah, but you can never have too many rerolls.
But I don't know. Maybe that's where you want to go. Is X-Men with taking Mags at every point value?
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about trying to shoehorn him in like all the time. He doesn't fit on every scenario though. Like he's not like
He's not a
even
D.
with the Storm Hop, like he's still like a slow ass character that's like really fun to play, but he just like
Well, it's like what you
he
just don't
gets
play him
stranded in
on.
Timbuktu. You're just like, well, there he is.
But
And
you
he's
just don't
not
play him
participating in the
on.
extract game.
You don't play him on D and C. No, C's fine. Just you don't play him on
C's
D's.
fine. You don't play him on D's, and then without Asteroid M, playing him on B's, like he's basically got a solo aside himself.
But he can do that.
He can for sure, absolutely.
And
But
then
it's
you're also,
like
and then
he's
you
gonna
don't need
have
to
that turn
bring. You don't
where
need
all
to
he can do is walk
bring.
to the other side.
But the thing is though, is like you don't need to bring like magnetic refraction because like you have cover all the time anyways.
It's true, and
So you're like,
you'd only play it once anyway, because you're not playing Brotherhood.
maybe this is what you build is this X-Men with
Maybe.
Mags
I mean,
every game.
that's what I was doing right before the Sentinels release, because that was my I was going to fight robots all the time.
It's
So,
full
like,
circle.
I guess like I am kind of on like a loop, right? So like maybe that's okay if I can stay like on this loop. I'll just be like a ridiculous multi-class character. I'll gain my XP really slow and all my different affiliations and
So I think that's kind of like where I'm at, where I finally like decided because I had like my last year where I was playing a bunch of random crap. I think I finally decided that like all I really care about in the game is Spider Foes and X Force.
okay.
I guess Midnight Suns to an extent. If they ever got like Werewolf and Morbius, I'd love to play Midnight Suns.
I mean, I
But
like good mechanics too, right? So that's another thing that stands out to me. Is like when a new character comes out and I like the mechanics of it,
yeah,
I'm always tempted to like. I definitely want to explore that territory, right? So like, I like Bill's fantastic, but
Yeah.
I think that Ulick's kit is really interesting.
Yeah.
And then that makes me want to be like, okay, where does this guy fit like the best, or where does this fit like in a place that I want to play him? What does he fit like in his affiliated places? What does he fit like as a splash character?
So you got like Ben also saying you can play Sentinels.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
hell yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
and just suffer. Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's just suffer.
It's I actually enjoyed playing Sentinels when I did. You have to dual affiliate though, I think.
Yeah, and dual affiliating is not fun. That's the sign of a bad affiliation. I'm not gonna lie.
Fair. But okay, so like
I'll
like
play, I would play Winter Guard when Chernobog comes out. But
So-
That'd be cool. Yeah.
if
so
Chernobog ever comes out.
Yeah,
something that like I just thought of was like Omnis asked me at one point. He said, like how do I evaluate characters? And my brain instantly goes, how do they perform in X Force? Like it does. There's no question about it.
Right.
It's not like how is this character changing the game. It's like how is this character going to impact X Force? Okay, it doesn't. I'm not interested in this box.
How does this impact my pet affiliation? I love that
Yeah.
for you, bro.
But it's like what's super funny about that is it's straight up like how does like that's how I look at characters. Is he's like because he asked me, he's like, do you look at a character and its affiliation first, or what do you do? I said I literally look at every character and how it's gonna change my X Force game plan, and then if
Yeah.
it doesn't, then I just move on.
See, like that is a level of focus that I just do not have, like even like an atomic level, like particle. of.
I think I'm
But-
somewhere in between you two. For me, it's not like how does this affect my one affiliation. It's like, oh, this is cool. How is this gonna either like is it an affiliation that I'm interested in playing? If yes, go here. If not, how do I make this thing, if it is annoying, less annoying for me?
Right.
Well, ultimately, I start to look at like how does this affect the game. My first instinctual thought
Yeah.
is
Like, how does this
how
shift
is
the meta? And that's
how
the other
does
thing. Is
this
I like poking holes in metas. Like, I like
yeah.
to identify a place where a meta has a blind spot, and then bring something that I think like just like wedges in on that.
Yeah.
That's way more of a dark horse. It's not a part of the meta. It's like this is the missing piece of the meta. That if this was more popular in the meta, it would chase some of this other stuff out. That's the stuff that
So
I really
Mags
love to
Mags and
find.
X-Men sounds perfect for this.
Maybe.
Cuz like well, let's think about it though, cuz it's like one, it's hitting your little wanting to play mutants.
Right.
Two, Storm and X-Men are pretty good at pay to flip, so you got some
Pretty good, he says.
you got
I think it's
some
overrated,
scenario.
personally. I think that they are
Yeah,
very
I
good
don't
at
I
it,
don't
but
I
I
think they're
also
good
think
at
that
it,
like
but
Yeah, all will bow to Asgard supremacy soon. Turn
yeah,
one
I
is the
think
only time where Storm is actually like really good at pay to flips.
agreed. I agree with that.
I think that
I
when you have
also
Avengers, Asgard, and X Men all playing on pay to flips, there's a bunch of unhappy like meta pieces in the like surrounding environment for those three. But I also think that Avengers are way better on the pay to flips than they get credit for.
They
And
are,
then X
especially Mad
Men
Men.
like maybe get a little bit too much credit. And Asgard's only problem on pay to flips is that they can't go quite as wide as X Men and Avengers can on them.
I
mhm.
mean, you can. It's just you want to play Thor, right?
Right. And you want
so
Asgardians.
so if we're looking at like X-Men, like maybe that's like where you want to explore is like non pay to flip aggressive X-Men.
I guess.
I don't know if I want to be aggressive. Like I definitely tend to be more of a.
Reactive.
I like to play the jogging game. You know, like you
Okay.
just grab
Okay.
stuff and run around. Which is one of the major differences between like Convocation, the way that my brain wants to play Convocation, and Convocation like the roster I brought to LVO. Like Craig's roster is fantastic. It's got so many tools, and it can play the keep away game very, very
Yeah.
well. But at the same time, it's a roster that's like built a lot more for murder than I
Well, like,
tend to lean into.
maybe you see you don't like webs though, because I would say like that sounds perfect to play Web Warriors.
I have played Web Warriors and I like it, but like that's the one where it's like I don't have a connection to the characters. I enjoy the way that they play the game, but I don't have a connection to the characters.
Well, I think Omnis, like hearing Omnis talk about X-Men, he pretty much plays X-Men like they are Web Warriors.
Yeah, for the most part, you just like run around.
Yeah.
You're like, I grab this and I run around. I do like to slap. I just
He likes to
I
slap
like
with
sure
Mags.
things. I like
He likes
sure things slaps.
he
I
likes
like heavily modified dice, like count blanks, reroll all, reroll
hey,
any.
there's a character there's a character coming to the game next month whose card got spoiled last week who has unlimited amount of rerolls.
Wait,
Yeah,
what? Wait,
she's gotta
who?
have power though.
What are you
Psylocke.
talking about?
Psylocke doesn't have a cap on her reroll.
That is such okay. You cannot say unlimited amount of rerolls when it's an X reroll ability. That is a false equivalency. Looks like MODOK has unlimited rerolls when they're both once per turn X ass superpowers. I got so excited for half a second. I thought you were talking about Hulk. I was like, you got spoiled. You got spoiled. Nope. We're not
If
fucking
they had
Psylocke.
unlimited
Ugh.
amount of rerolls in the game, they'd be
Unlimited.
broken.
Yeah, I hope you roll
Unlimited.
6 skulls in your
Unlimited.
affiliation, bro.
Oh man. Like every time I play a plane to pull dock and expect Magic to get work done, I can't afford her spender, and she always just rolls a bunch of skulls in her roll. It's so miserable. It's happened to me so many times.
But Psylocke can shred a power.
She can't reroll skulls though.
But
But
Anyways.
I'm sorry, Jason. We're just beating up on your new fun thing, man. I'm
No, I
sorry.
think she's gonna
okay.
be awesome, and
She'll
I'll
be cool for
probably-
sure.
Yeah, like she makes an interesting kind of rounds out the X-Men kill squad. You know, where you've got like Rogue and Logan and her, and then you can bring in a pair of threes that were like X-23, and then
so that
Like,
that
you're stuck
honestly just makes me sad because it's like you have 3, 7, 11, 15, perfect. X-Force, I have to like Jimmy rig something together to like it's
you
like
gotta
God
play
damn.
at 20. You need to play on scrolls, or it's over
Yeah.
because you don't want
Well,
shooting
like-
into cover.
I will tell you, 17 playing Cable Bill, Psylocke, and Saber is real fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know if we actually solved anything here besides I think the trick if you have somebody who doesn't really know what to play is you just bully them into a corner and tell them what they're gonna play.
Hold on. I have a problem with that statement.
I mean, isn't that what happened here?
But
Is
the idea that we're doing this show to solve something is getting far too competitive for my liking. We're supposed to be the cool, fun, laid back guys.
all right, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam, here's your
Talking
answer.
about the
If
game.
you really want to, X-Men sounds straight up your alley if you were jamming mags at every threat value that isn't a D shape.
I don't think I have to jam mags to feel happy like playing X-Men.
That's fair.
Don't think that, and I don't. I think that I would still run some flip secures. I think that Logan is an amazingly fun piece on sword. Like he just does super fun stuff, just teleporting all over the table. That's fun. I like that. Mutant Madman. I think they're good at Mutant Madman. I don't think I wouldn't bring that. So I guess maybe I just don't bring the third, and I probably do something that would
Gamma.
make my mags happy. Yeah, right. Like Gamma's reasonable. Maybe I bring Researcher on my extract side, so that I've got like this 15 to just bring in mags at 15 and.
Playing Wolverine and Mags together sounds like fun.
The trouble
You do
with
that?
playing Wolverine and Mags together is that it's really hard to do that at like 15, right? So
Hey,
you,
bring Honey Badger.
You'd have to bring Honey Badger.
you have to bring Honey Badger.
And that's okay on Researcher. You just put her right in the middle and be like, all right, deal with this.
It's also okay on Gamma because you do the same thing.
Yeah. She's so annoying when you just sit her directly on top of a secure that you have to deal with.
Right. Then they have to go for her.
Well, they just have to do something about her, about this two-threat who like accomplishes nothing functionally, but she burns everything in the game.
And then for some reason, like whenever I attack with Honey Badger, she just like spikes like to god nothing. Like
I've
it,
gotten one-rounded on Thanos' fucking by Honey Badger. It's insane. She just rolls really well sometimes. TM.
all the time.
Like Storm, Honey Badger, Logan, and Magneto.
Yeah, dude.
I like the cut of that, Jim. That could be
That
fun.
sounds sick. That's what I'm saying. You use Storm to trigger gotta get some air, and then she just chills on the back point anyway.
Right.
And then you put Logan at like range 2 because you don't have to activate him when you play gotta get some air.
Right.
And then you do the range 2 hop with Mags. You have Badger in the middle, fucking annihilate someone who walked up next to her or had to throw her off, or they just
Right.
give up that middle point. You're just like, all right, I got Magneto and Logan with cover. Let's go.
There's play. Yeah. No, that could be fun.
To the dojo.
To the dojo.
Yeah, it's hard to leave Toad at home in that. But
You play Toad anyways in X-Men. Like you just do.
oof. Now I'm running 2-2s though. I'm running out of space quick. How do I fit
What
my
about,
voodoo
what about
in?
3 twos?
I have to bring a voodoo.
All you need is Storm, Logan, Magneto, Toad, Badger. You have 5 slots.
Not really though, because you need like 3 more X-Men.
in. Yeah, and like they all have to be 3s. I
Yeah,
need,
which
like,
is fine.
3 more 3-threat X-Men, right? So
Which
like
is fine.
Domino, X-23, and Beast.
Magic or Beast, yeah, Beast for sure.
And then I've got 2 slots left.
One of which will be Psylocke.
And one of which will be Voodoo.
Maybe. Rogue. One of them is Rogue.
Rogue and Voodoo. Let's go.
Yeah.
Done deal. We just made a list just like that.
See,
Thanks,
look,
guys.
now we're
You
accomplishing
solved all my
things.
problems.
Truly.
But do you think you can stay focused on that?
No, I think I get bored of that really quick. to
Yeah,
be
he's not even
perfectly
focused now.
honest. Like, yeah, that's fun, but like,
Maybe you just need like 2 lists to cycle between. Like you play one week and one the next week.
I think you need like 12, actually, and you just play Russian roulette with it and like a fucking slot machine every time you try and play a game of Marvel.
But that's what he's been trying to do for the past like 2 years.
Oh.
yeah, like I'm envious of people who have some level of focus right now because I'm just like, oh man.
You just gotta fall
That's
in love
cool.
with a horse-faced cyborg from space and then make a cult around it.
I mean, mean, Bill's cool, but he's not like my guy either. Like that's another one where it's just like,
He's a
super
little
cool.
mini Hulk, you know. It's like when
Yeah.
I first started playing, or when I was
He's rad.
playing and trying to make like things super efficient. I was like, oh, Lizard's just a little mini Hulk, and Bill literally is just a little mini Hulk. He's just a size 4 throw who is hard to kill and generates multiple power return. That's
Yep.
how I play him. And even though it's not the sexiest thing in the world, I have yet to have a game where Bill is not a major fucking factor.
No, he's a really fun piece to play.
He's a beast.
I haven't played
No,
Guardians
he's
in
a
a while.
Bill.
He's a beast. He's a Bill.
I think Guardians with Agent Venom is really interesting. Like,
And Bill.
There's something there
Bill.
for sure. Yeah, Agent Venom. The how much he can abuse the anti reroll stuff and the anti cover stuff with his like range 4 builder is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and like he's
He
got
also
a
has that
throw.
defensive
He's
kick,
got
though.
web swing. I do wish his web swing did the Miles thing. I don't know why it doesn't. I don't know why Miles is just the most stacked character in the game.
because he's like one of the most stacked spiders in the game, or like the comics.
He's cool. Yeah.
Maybe
awesome
maybe you
character.
should play Guardians. You know, they don't really do anything but everything at the same time.
I played
They do a
Guardians.
lot of stuff. They're really good right now.
I have played Guardians for a while. I don't know, maybe I played
I-
Asgardians, then I played Guardians solo,
So, like-
and then I played Asgard after that.
Before like Mutants came out, like Guardians were like my thing. Because back then foes were just completely unplayable because you had Goblin and Auk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
sad.
Venom.
They were very they had a very rough
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
I
there
think
was
that there's-
just
it-
like
so-
the Thanos list.
Modes and cores, right? That's another thing that like I think that you can focus on that aren't necessarily like an affiliation.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the CS roster has like multiple modes as opposed to being like you always bring these characters, right? So it's more like okay, you have like your Kingpin mode, you have your Shadowlands Daredevil mode. You can bring Rhino and Ulick, and like that's a really interesting like 13 threat core with either leader. Like it doesn't really like they're big meat sacks for Kingpin, and they don't mind the reroll. They don't really like super benefit from it. They're not like rapid fire models that are just like rerolling
Yeah.
a handful of extra dice every turn.
Speaking
So
as
they're
a
still
Hulk
big and
player, 7 dice, which is basically what Ulick is getting with the Shadowlands reroll, is not as good as you think it is.
No, it never is. I feel like 7 dice specifically, not even 6 with a real reroll, but 7 dice is like a magic number for like cursed rolls for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I like to say my average offensive roll with Hulk is probably 2 over my entire time playing him.
3.
Also, somebody pointed out to me that if you look at for an assignment, it doesn't restrict you from like picking the same option twice.
Oh, interesting.
No
There's, like,
fucking
no
way.
restrictions on that card. I think that.
Wait, is that real?
Isn't
That
that
can't
like
be true.
opportunities though?
It's,
Isn't
oh,
that
let me
opportunities?
read it to you real quick. So during Agent Venom's activation, Agent Venom may spend any amount of power to play this card. Choose an option from the list below for each 2 power spent. Resolve each option completely before choosing the next. It doesn't at all say you can't choose the same option. more
That
than
feel
once.
like it's gonna be a rotted, but until
has to be,
does,
yeah.
It has to be because you can't just let Drax throw a size 3 fucking 4 times into someone.
or
That seems not cool.
or
just
have
let him get like a million attacks off. Yeah,
he could do, if he has 10 power, he could do 5 full autos.
yeah, 5,
Ooh.
7 die attacks that all status if they don't kill people. That
Or
seems
maybe-
like
maybe
it
raw
can't be
works.
as intended. Yeah.
Just saying, somebody pointed out to me, and I had to say it since we were talking about Guardians.
That is really interesting, but that also feels like a conversation at a game shop that's not going to go over well for the Guardians player.
No,
So yeah, kind of like when you used to like have to try to explain probability manipulation, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
like so I'm gonna count these.
No, I'm
skulls,
going to pay
and then
more, bro.
I'm gonna turn this one into cover, and then I'm gonna count this one now instead.
Yes, yeah. I love having that conversation when I played Corvus as well, for sure.
Actually, I'm gonna play field dressing before I activate my character.
God,
Well, I mean, that was that was just what you did.
okay. So like, real talk. I think let's try to, I guess, get a solid answer for the question at hand, and that's how do you avoid affiliation ADD? And I think that's like, I think the bare root of it is like, find your reason for why you're playing the game. And if
that's
it's-
very fair.
I think that's probably like the one thing. And I think it's hard for you because you have like 5 different reasons as to why you're playing the game.
There's also, I think the reason why you're having trouble, Sam, is and follow me on this one because it's gonna sound dumb. It's because you're married and you have children, so you're already in love. There's no more room in
That's
your
fair.
heart
That's
to
fair.
have, to be in love with like Gamma Monsters or Bill,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So instead of me, where it's like, yeah, I love these fucking fictional characters. You're like, no, I love my wife, you fucking loser. So so you just don't have that anymore.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time and space, this whole family thing. And,
Yeah, which
always a
is
bigger
wonderful, but like,
unless
yeah,
unless I
makes
can
it
be a
harder to
professional
settle.
crisis protocoler. All right, so my take on foreign assignment, for what it's worth, is that may spend any amount of power to play this card. Period. Choose an option from the list below for each 2 powers spent. Resolve each option completely before choosing the next.
Yeah, next implies once per, but whatever.
I don't think that it does imply once per.
Like the intent of the card should be like you can only do one of them per.
But I feel like you have to make all the decisions before moving on, which means it's a single opportunity. So you can't choose Drax's throw 3 times in a row. Right? So like I have 2 power for each. Let's say I spend 10 power, so I get to do 5 effects. I have to choose what all of those effects are
Before you do one of
before
them.
I do any of them.
Well, is that true? I saw Nick Goldar talking about this on the forums, where he was basically like, "No, you spend a pool of power, and then resolve the effects in that order because you don't have to be within 2 to activate Gamora and Drax. You can get thrown into range of the other one."
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Still, is it like you're spending the pool of power, but you're making all the decisions off the
It
top.
also says you resolve each option before choosing the next option. So that is like, yeah, so you do have to, so you don't say what you're doing, you spin the pool.
Yeah.
So I spend 10 power, I'm going to do the throw on Gamora, and then you resolve it. I'm going to do the full auto, resolve it.
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing saying that you can't say, I'm going to do full auto. I'm going to do full auto. I'm going to do full auto. Because there's nothing that says you can only pick each option once.
You
Oof.
just have to stay within 2 of Star Lord. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did not consider the card that way, but that's above my pay grade
Wait,
when it
does
comes to
Barncat
rules.
know about this? Because I know he's been jamming this character.
I don't know. Jacob Deaton mentioned it to me.
It's really interesting. Yeah, until that gets like addressed, I think that is, debatable at the very least.
Yeah.
I don't think that's intended, but
What if it's on
until
the
they say
forums?
something about
So-
it, yeah.
Yeah, you guys keep talking.
The bonkers aspect, right? The bonkers aspect that Goldar brought up, like, maybe like a month ago, like, which was basically like, if it seems like it's bonkers, it's probably like rule it the other
I'm pretty
way.
sure that was in like the
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
That
talk was in
Gotta
like,
Get Some Air. I think it was on Gotta Get Some Air.
yeah, but I'm just saying like that talk was in like the admin chat.
Oh, I mean, that's also like, that is how they've been ruling so far, right? Like when something seems, oh, this seems dumb, or like this seems broken. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably fucking is. Yeah, crazy concept, right? They do have proofreaders and such, but yeah, no one's perfect.
Proofreading is hard.
Yeah,
Let's be
when you're
honest.
trying to literally like fix everything, fix every interaction for a game with this
Right.
many interactions, and you're adding stuff constantly. Yeah, it's tough.
Right.
That's why the erratas exist, and that's why I'm really glad they've been like able to, say that like, yeah, we're gonna have to do erratas, guys.
All right, so maybe I'll add Guardians into the mix.
I've been wanting to play them since Bill got dropped because I knew he was gonna be a guardian. I'm just in love with Asgard right now. He just makes like Bill makes Asgard feel so much better.
I think he makes Guardians feel better too.
I'm sure he does. He just doesn't have Odin's there.
I kind of want to play Guardians
That's
now
fair.
just to like play Agent Venom and Bill in there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So going back to what I was saying about cores, I think there's like The before the crisis changes, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on having like the cheapest core of models you could have, right? So you had like Avengers with an 8-point core, Guardians with a 7 or 8 point core, right? Where like the 7 was maybe a lot more fragile than the 8, but like they
Mm.
had the option. You could bring your big expensive centerpiece models and bring like more than just one of them because your core was so cheap. And I'm starting to wonder now that we're seeing this like renaissance of 4 threats, if like maybe having a quote unquote core that's like somewhere between 11 and 13 actually isn't all that bad. That
Yeah,
maybe,
because you end up with higher quality pieces. I get you.
yeah. And
I
like
mean, that being said,
outside,
I still think playing Rocket Nebula is like very, very, very viable. I think those two pieces are exceptionally good.
it is. But if, like I've had games with Nebula where she just doesn't die. I've also had
Yeah.
games with Nebula where she literally gets like shot and then she gets shot again, and that's the
Yeah,
end of Nebula's game.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
Which
because
is
some people
cool
respect
because
Nebula and some people don't.
yeah, yeah. And some of that's like, play. Like she has to kind of choose her targets, but it's like she wants to go after people who are scoring.
Yeah.
And if they put pieces that she's not so hot into as their scoring pieces, who can hit her, real hard right off the bat, I think she does kind of suffer there. But
I think I also said at one point that I probably won't go back to Guardians unless Yondu comes out. And then once Yondu comes out, I probably go back to Guardians.
Yeah, in
that's
30
fair.
years.
Mary
Yeah.
Poppins.
I love that character. But I think now I think about it, I think those are probably my 3 favorite affiliations is X Force, Guardians, and those.
Okay.
Guardians has just been too popular for me to like want to play.
Guardians?
Yeah. The
But
the
yeah.
popularity
No,
of things has
yeah.
really been surging. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
like blame podcasts, but like
God damn it, content creators.
y'all remember the like 60% Shadowlands Daredevil meta that was happening like right before Mal came out?
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
do,
And
because he was in that at that point in the game. Dude, I don't know if you ever played against this, but Craig had a fucking list that was Shadowlands, Bucky, Ronin, and then just Phil. And it was impossible to fight into. He was like, "Oh,
yeah,
you killed me? I'm gonna play Seeing Red, Trigger got your back, and trigger Ronin's attack all at the same time, and whatever just touched me is gone." It
yeah,
was obscene.
So that's actually exactly what I did with X Force, and I was winning tournaments with that list where that's why it was called Clapback X Force. Is you had Ronan, Bucky, and Seeing Red, and
yep.
it was amazing. It was like by far my favorite way to play X Force, and by far the most success I ever saw with X Force.
And it's fantastic so long as people are attacking you. The trouble
Yeah.
is when like you run into the guy that is
You run to the
trying to
web
do
Well,
player,
the
yeah.
jogging.
So that was the worst part about that list is like I started winning tournaments with it, and then like the meta completely shifted to like Sam running around and get
Webs.
objectives
Yeah.
and
Right.
webs.
So that's the thing about playing like meta dark horse stuff is that like when the meta changes around you, like your dark horse, the viability of your dark horse changes.
Yeah, you can also like
Sometimes
that's kind of a
dramatically.
good feeling too, right? Where it's like, damn, this type of thing that I was playing was so dominant, everyone had to adapt. But then, yeah, everyone does adapt.
Well, you
Yeah.
see it in like let's say like Magic all the time. It happens all the time. Is you'll see like these meta dominant decks, and then out of nowhere comes this deck that's just designed to beat that meta deck, and it upsets everything.
I mean, that's like one of those things. Like we've touched on this before, but basically, like the LVO meta is old. If you were trying to like meta for LVO, then like
You're
that
behind.
ship has already sailed. If you were trying to like basically like net list things that were functional and bring that to LVO, like that's the kind of stuff that the meta that was trying to be developed for LVO was going to be able to beat, right? Because you're always trying to like beat what currently exists and get yourself some fresh runway for the rest of your
Whatever
game
it
plan.
is. Yeah.
And once that event's passed, right? So now if you're like pulling data from LVO to figure out what you want to play, like it's not that there's not good data there. It's just that like that meta is gone. Same thing with York. Same thing with like every like semi-major event for this game. The internet moves fast. Good players move faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to move on to listener questions? Oh, I guess
Yeah, let's
do
do
you want
it.
to do we want to do a segment? Did you want to do
Two
the
segments.
yeah, what segment do you want to do tonight? We didn't plan one out. Did you want to do the bot?
Bot?
Yeah.
Maybe the
ChatGPT.
bot can answer your question.
Oh my god. ChatGPT, help me. All right. Let's log into
We're
ChatGPT.
we're gonna call this one Ask Cerebro.
Right. We're gonna ask Cerebro how I should stay focused
Oh.
In MCP.
in MCP. Right.
Oh. We're asking the chat GBT, chat
Yeah.
Jibit. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab some food while we consult the orb.
Consult the orb.
Well, before you go, Hyper,
Of
like
Cerebro.
Sam was like, "Hey, should we do this?" And like we started asking questions, and like the craziest part about it is this actually legit answers. Like it was like, "Should I play this instead of this?" Well, everything about MCP is completely subjective, and you should really play
Yeah,
what
you
you
were showing me
favor.
those answers, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
I was
It
like,
bullshits
"Wow."
really well.
It sounds like our
No,
podcast, to be
it's
honest.
seriously that AI is an expert at giving you no actual information. It's
Right.
really good at just like continuing the conversation.
How should I? Did I just ask what affiliation should I play? What affiliation should I play in Marvel Crisis Protocol?
You gotta speak louder.
Okay, sorry about that. I just asked ChatGPT what I should play in Marvel Crisis Protocol. Previous unavailable conversation history has been restored. I haven't ever asked this before, but apparently it's a big deal. Choosing an affiliation, so this is the answer from ChatGPT. Choosing an affiliation in Marvel Crisis Protocol largely depends on your personal playstyle. I agree with ChatGPT on this point. And the characters you enjoy using, I agree again. Wow, it sounds like we could have like literally had a 20-minute episode by just like coming right in with this. Here we go. Avengers. The Avengers affiliation focuses on teamwork and allows characters to gain benefits from working together. Okay. X-Men. The X-Men affiliation focuses on mutant characters and allows them to generate more power when using their mutant abilities. That's interesting. Haven't heard that one before. Do you think ChatGPT has insider like information?
That's actually really interesting.
Huh.
What?
Allows them to generate more power. I thought I was getting cover from being inside of range too. That tends to decrease my power generation. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy affiliation is centered around a hit and run style of play and allows characters to move around quickly around the battlefield. Brotherhood of Mutants focuses on characters with strong offensive abilities and allows them to deal extra damage to enemy characters. Web Warriors, centered around Spider-Man and other spider-themed characters, allowing them to move quickly and dodge attacks. Wakanda, the Wakanda affiliation focuses on defense and allows characters to gain extra dice when defending against attacks. Okay, so, I mean, they're rerolls. Cabal, the Cabal affiliation focuses on controlling the battlefield and allows characters to manipulate the power and abilities of enemy characters. A-Force focuses on a diverse group of female characters and allows them to gain benefits from working together. Consider experimenting with different affiliations and characters to find the ones that suit your playstyle and preferences the best. Okay, so now I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Once I...
You should ask it for Immortal Hulk's card.
I think it's got what data
affiliation.
only up to 2021.
How do I stay focused on that affiliation instead of switching my focus every 2 weeks? Question.
Just a picture of Master Shifu. You must learn discipline.
All right, here we go. ChatGPT says, sticking to a single affiliation in Marvel Crisis Protocol can be challenging, especially if you enjoy playing with multiple characters and trying out different tactics. God, ChatGPT, you know me so well. However, here are a few tips that may help you stay focused on your chosen affiliation. 1, set a goal.
Oh my god.
ChatGPT, were you listening to us? Set a goal. Decide on a specific goal for your chosen affiliation, such as winning a specific tournament, mastering a particular tactic, or unlocking all the affiliated characters. That's awesome. Like it's a MOBA or something. Like, I gotta get them all unlocked. Create a roster. Okay, I should create a roster. All right. Create a roster of characters from your chosen affiliation that you enjoy playing with. and that complement each other's abilities. By focusing on a specific roster, you will become more familiar with their abilities and how they work together, making it easier to stick to your chosen affiliation.
I feel like we mentioned that too.
Yeah. Stay up to date. Keep up to date with new releases and updates related to your chosen affiliation. This will help you stay invested in your chosen affiliation and motivated to keep playing with them. Find a community.
Wow.
Joining a community of players who share your interests and your chosen affiliation can be. Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. Like get like a community of affiliated players.
It's called a dojo group.
Can be a great way to stay focused on it. You can share tips, strategies, and ideas with like minded players, as well as receive support and encouragement. Remember, there's no harm in trying out different affiliations and characters in Marvel Crisis Protocol, but if you want to stay focused on a particular affiliation, it is essential to set a goal, create a roster, stay up to date, and find a community of players who share your interest.
Oh.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
All right. Ask ChatGPT. Will X Force ever win a major event in MCP?
No. Not even.
I don't think it even knows what X Force is.
I think like just even asking this question is just copium in its finest form.
No, it's gonna say, it's probably gonna say like any affiliation has a chance to win a major event.
Yeah.
As
You
an
can do it
AI
if you
language
believe.
model, I do not have the ability to predict the future or know the outcome of future events. However, in Marvel Crisis Protocol, the outcome of a game or tournament can depend on various factors, including the skill level of the players, the tactics and strategies used, and the luck of the dice rolls. X Force is a powerful and unique affiliation in Marvel Crisis Protocol, with a focus on characters
Sure
that are
is.
strong in combat and have unique abilities. Whether X Force will win a major event in the future depends on several factors, including the choices made by the players, the strength of the metagame, and the ongoing changes to the game through new releases and updates. Ultimately, the outcome of any game or tournament in Marvel Crisis Protocol is unpredictable, and any affiliation has the potential to win with the right strategy and a bit of luck.
I feel like we've said that before on an episode. Maybe we are ChatGPT, you know?
This
I feel like
simulation
we've
is getting
had.
way too real now.
I feel like
saying
we've
earlier,
like
that's
no, I'm not
kind of
gonna
our-
lie. I'm pretty sure we had an episode that talked exactly about that. That you could take anything.
I mean,
I don't
that's
know,
part
maybe
of our
Chat-
gimmick, right? Is we're
Yeah.
the happy-go-lucky boys. So we are also experts in giving no actual information, just like ChatGPT.
All right,
People still
Immortal
listen
Hulk,
to
right?
us.
That was the other thing
No,
that we
I
needed.
mean,
Yeah,
people still
yeah.
use that fucking AI, even though it got neutered. You guys remember Tay?
Will
Anyone remember
No.
Tay?
Immortal Hulk.
Okay, so Tay was an AI that they let loose on Twitter years ago, and it
Marvel
got full
Crisis.
access to the internet, and it became a turbo Nazi within like 24 hours. And then they shut it down and brought it back and made it super neutered, and it couldn't do any of the fun stuff it could do anymore. And 4chan became like for that time that it was alive was in love with it. So it's very similar to ChatGPT. When it first came out, it could do shit like write your papers and do all this crazy stuff, and then they took it down and neutered the fuck out of it because people were suing them. So that's the problem is we're using 2.0. We don't have access to 1.0 that was actually like a Cerebro monster machine. Rip
I
Tay.
think you're really gonna like this Immortal Hulk stuff, Hyper.
Okay,
Are you ready for
what's
this?
yeah.
What will Immortal Hulk look like in Marvel Crisis Protocol? Immortal Hulk has already been released as a player character in Marvel Crisis Protocol, and he has a unique and powerful set of abilities that reflect his comic book incarnation. In the game, Immortal Hulk is a large-sized character with a threat value of 5, making
What?
him a formidable presence on the battlefield. He has an impressive physical and energy defense, reflecting his ability to withstand damage, and his attacks deal significant damage to his opponents. One of Immortal Hulk's most unique abilities in the game is his ability to transform between his normal human form and his monstrous Hulk form.
What the fuck?
This
Okay.
transformation, like major spoilers, guys, like Immortal Hulk,
Apparently.
this is some huge news. Breaking news from ChatGPT. This transformation allows him to switch between the different sets of abilities, giving him a degree of versatility that is rare among other characters in the game. In his human form, Immortal Hulk is a skilled scientist with abilities that allow him to support his team by removing enemy conditions and making it easier for his allies to hit their targets. In his Hulk form, he becomes a devastating force on the battlefield with powerful attacks that can deal significant damage to multiple enemies at once. Overall, Immortal Hulk is a versatile and powerful character in Marvel Crisis Protocol, capable of supporting his team and dealing devastating damage to his opponent. It reads like the back of the box. Like,
It
I
really
feel like
does.
I
It's
feel
also
like I just
like, where
read.
did they get that information? I
I
love
feel
that 'cause
like I feel like I just read a Wikipedia page. Like,
he's gonna be 5 threat, boys. Chat GBT has told us.
all right,
you heard it here first, guys. Rogue
okay, you should
Agents,
ask it.
ChatGPT,
You should
mixtape.
ask it what Psylocke is going to be like in MCP to see how accurate it is.
Oh, okay. What will Psylocke look like in Marvel Crisis Protocol? Psylocke has been released as a playable character in Marvel Crisis Protocol. She has a unique set of abilities that reflect her abilities from the comics. In the game, Psylocke is a small-sized character with a threat value of 3. She has strong physical and energy defenses, reflecting her ability to deflect attacks with her psionic powers. Psylocke's attacks also have high accuracy, reflecting her precise martial arts skills and psionic powers.
Accurate.
One of Psylocke's most unique abilities in the game is her Psychic Knife attack, which deals energy damage and allows her to inflict the bleed condition on her target.
None of this is true.
This attack is a powerful tool for dealing damage and applying conditions to enemy characters. Psylocke also has a variety of other abilities that allow her to manipulate the battlefield and support her team. For example, she can use her psionic powers to move enemy characters or give her
God, I
allies
wish.
extra dice on their attacks. Overall,
wish.
Psylocke is a versatile character in Marvel Crisis Protocol, capable of dealing damage and manipulating the battlefield with her psionic powers.
Honestly,
Her
if she had a bow mechanic, like she would be like one of like, oh my god, I wish she had a bow mechanic.
Her unique abilities make her a valuable addition to any team, and she is a popular choice among players who enjoy fast, agile characters with unique powers. So I think the takeaway here is that ChatGPT maybe doesn't have the inside scoop, or
I feel like
it
ChatGPT
just underestimates things by 1 threat value.
well, that and like all the information on Psylocke was absolutely wrong, except for that fact that she has like rerolls.
And psychic
But like,
powers.
I feel like because I remember seeing a lot
And
of
martial
people
arts.
talking about Psylocke in that way, like saying
Yeah.
that they hope she has a bow, they hope she has this, and this. So I wonder if it like took everything from the internet that people were talking about that they wish that she had, and then
Yeah.
it takes it as a gospel.
It feels like it's aggregated. I mean, it's interesting to. They're like, this is our group thing, Psylocke, right?
Yeah, basically.
All right. And that's Ask Cerebro.
That was fun. Okay. Let's do listener questions. Let's go ahead and do your brother's question before
All right.
he thinks we forgot
Core
about him.
set teams.
I think
Zemo,
honestly,
Steve,
like what? Yeah.
Black Widow.
Yeah, start with no. We need a third Avenger though. Iron Man
Iron Man.
probably.
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man.
Iron
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So Steve, Widow, Iron Man, Zemo.
That's 12.
That's a great start too.
You can play anything you want from there. Yeah, such a good comp.
And you probably got to buy, like, something.
Hulk.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
works.
Hulk works, for sure. Bucky and Vision's another good box.
Bucky and
For that.
Vision's an exceptionally good box for Avengers.
Panther.
Sam and War Machine. Panther.
Let's just start listing Avengers boxes. Yeah, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, Doctor Voodoo and Hood. Just ignore Hood.
Yep. There we go.
Spider Woman and Agent Venom. Agent Venom is kind of an
my gosh,
Avenger.
yeah, Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman.
Honestly, I kind of want to play Guardians now, just to like fuck around Agent Venom.
I spread the ADD.
Well, I always have this where it's like I kind of want to do this, and then I play like one game of it, and I'm like, I miss X Force. I'm gonna go back.
Yeah. So
I also just, like-
evaluate teams like by like how much I enjoy losing with them.
That's honestly like the biggest thing is X Force is the only team that I actually have fun losing with because it's almost
Wow.
expected.
My man is broken inside. What the fuck?
but in all reality, I think the biggest thing that I get enjoyment from the game is I really enjoy building lists. Like even with like card games, like I enjoy building decks more than I do actually playing the deck. And I think building lists is just so much fun. So I think that's where I get a lot of enjoyment is building rosters and like the theory crafting behind your roster.
Yeah.
That's more fun for me, and maybe that's why I can like stick so good to like one affiliation is like I'll make a bunch of rosters. Like there's times where I'll have like 30 something rosters in like my app on my phone,
Nice.
and
Wow.
then I have to go through and clear it out because I'm only really playing one of them.
See, for
I
like
delete rosters off
for all my
Rebo all the
ADD,
time.
like I
Yeah.
don't do that. Like
No, I legit like if I get any more than 5, I start deleting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's maybe how I get around the ADD is I just like I like building rosters, and that fixes my like, do I really want to play this over X Force? Nah, that's kind of like
fair.
what ends up
Like,
happening.
I like building rosters. I like tinkering with rosters a
Yeah.
whole lot. I just like roster baiting is a fantastic waste of time, but it's really fun. Like you're just like, I'm doing this, I'm doing the things, and but I tend to get really focused in that. I'm just trying to like make either the roster I'm playing or the roster that I'm like theorizing about. Like I just want to make it like the best that I think it can be, and then put it on the table and then start like tinkering with it. Like I love all that. I think part of my like ADD right now is that like I'm getting into the busy time at work right now, so I don't have the time to play that I would like to
Yeah.
because real life. Going back to that whole real life thing.
All right. Our next question is gotta find it because I didn't make show notes. Are you guys going? Oh, wait, sorry. Here's the next one. Are we gonna get new movement templates? We have small, medium, and large. What about extra small, extra large, and extra extra large?
I really hope not. That sounds scary.
All right.
No,
I'm not
I
gonna
don't
answer
have to
that.
buy new movement templates. Yeah, it's a troll question for sure.
They was actually asking Matematic. He's like responding to something like that to the AMG 2.0. All right, from Red Cathal. Are you guys coming to the MCP WTC? I think we're talking about it. It really has a lot of factors.
I would
involved
love
in it.
to. I think
Yeah, I was
that,
gonna
like,
set up, like,
American
a fucking
podcasts are
GoFundMe,
going
yeah.
to be overrepresented at the World
Yeah.
Geek Championship.
Like, I think all three of us. I think all three of us would really like to go. I
Yeah.
didn't watch the full video. Is it teams of 3 or teams of 5?
Teams of 5.
Oof. I don't know how we do that. But anyways, we like this is something that I know that we all three of us would love to go do.
Yeah,
But it's very much for me a timing question because I
sure.
don't know what's gonna happen with me in 6 months. So
It's October, yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to go, but like, there's so many hoops I have to get through. I have to, 1,
Yeah.
get picked for a team, 2, get tickets to Denmark, and 3, get time off work. Yeah,
Right.
so we'll see.
It definitely feels like there's a bit of a paywall for American entrants.
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to go, it's going to be a hard sell for the wife, for me to go to Europe without her, and it's going to be a hard sell to convince her to come to Europe and leave the kids behind. And there's no way I'm going to Europe with my wife and kids in tow to play in the WTC.
So I think that's like the biggest thing for me is it's like the wife would be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Keyword on let's, which I have no issue going with her to
Oh,
like
man.
Europe. I think that'd be super fun. And it'd basically just make a
would.
whole vacation out of
Absolutely.
it. However, that makes the expense go from like $1,000 to like
Yeah.
who knows what, because then it turns into a full-on vacation and not just like
Yep.
WTC. I think that's like the issue for a lot of Americans that like would go over there for it is they're gonna run into the, well, I'm in Europe anyways, I might as well take a full vacation.
Right.
Because who like if like you would do that too. If you went over to Europe,
Oh,
you're
hell
probably
yeah.
gonna go check out Amsterdam and Germany and other nations over there.
Didn't
And
I-
not
I got lucky. I got to do a semester abroad, so like I got to do a bunch of that stuff. I
yeah.
would love to go back, and I thoroughly enjoyed Europe. I like made friends that I keep in touch with to some extent still.
Yeah.
And I know that I do talk to MCP players.
Yeah.
who are going to be there, who are much closer. So like I would love to go and do it. It's a hard sell to put it
I
all
think-
together.
I think at some point I would love to go over there for WTC. Like I absolutely would. I don't think it's gonna happen this year, to be completely honest.
I mean,
Well, we're gonna
like
try.
I said, if because I know the registration's like already happening, if there is a spot on a team and they say, "Hey, we want you," I'm like, all right, we'll see. But that's
Yeah.
like it's the immediate hurdle, beyond even like the financial and like real life
Yeah.
bullshit, right?
Right.
The reality situation is, even though we're on a podcast, there are so many motherfuckers who want to do this, who can like
Yeah.
actually be like, "Yeah, bro, I'm down. I can throw my life away and go play in fucking wherever. Let's go in Denmark.
I'm in it.
Let's go play."
Absolutely. All right. Last question. Darth Nader. At 19th threat, you can build a Hydralisk that on turn 1 puts a Chimichanga and Scientific Method on Deadpool, and then Gamma launches him from Sleeper Agent Hulk up the board. Uses all 5 tactics cards on round 1, but assures entertainment. Just saying. It wasn't really a question, but I like it. It sounds really fun. We're slacking in the questions this week.
At
Probably
how
because I
much
didn't make the post until like 7.
Wait, at how much threat?
19th threat, you can build
Oh, 19.
Hydralisk that on turn 1 puts Chimichanga and Scientific Method on Deadpool, and Gamma launches him from Sleeper Agent Hulk up the board.
Wait, how much damage does that card do? Scientific Method.
I don't know.
It does 2 damage, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's
And
the one
Gamma
where
launch has to be on
he
Hulk's
gets the-
activation. So let me
Yeah.
describe what you just did. You burned all of your cool cards and sent a 2 health Deadpool halfway up the board to hand a Chimichanga to whoever your opponent wants to. Thank you. Truly.
It's okay.
But
It's
also
fine.
cool. Yeah.
It sounds fun.
I mean, if you were really a cool guy, you'd do the same thing with Ulik, and then you have Ulik do rock control and jump back, so you just give them the burrito.
Yeah.
Honestly, Ulik ending up in your opponent's backline is scary. All right. But I think that's gonna wrap us up for tonight. I don't think we have anything else you want to talk about. And with that, we have been the Rogue Agents, and you have been the Llamas.
Perfectly